Hi, once again I welcome all of you to the online lecture of BSc Analytical Chemistry first year. Dear students, in last lecture we have learned about the different steps in typical quantitative analysis. In this lecture we are going to learn about the types of analysis, complete analysis, partial analysis and assay of ingredients, as well as the analytical chemist and chemical analyst. So let's start with the types of analysis. So the type of analysis, the chemical analysis can also be classified as a proximate, partial, complete analysis. So proximate analysis is the chemical analysis in which the amount of each element of each sample determined with no concern as the total actual compounds present. So the proximate analysis is carried out for the samples which bear organic or inorganic origin. So the chemical analysis in which the amount of each element of each sample determined. So each element from each sample is determined. So such type of the analysis is known as a proximate analysis. Proximate analysis is carried out for the samples which bear organic or inorganic origin. The analysis is carried out on the dry basis, means often removal of moisture from the sample. So after removal of the moisture and the dry sample is taken for the proximate analysis. The assay of each element is recorded as a percentage. So what is the unit or determination of concentration of this proximate analysis is the percentage. Second one is the partial analysis. In partial analysis, the determination of only desired constituent in the sample. This type of the analysis is generally carried out for ores, minerals and pharmaceutical products. So partial analysis concerns with the determination of only desired constituent, which we will have to determine or analyze the component present in the given sample. So such type of analysis is known as a partial analysis. In second type, that is what for example, if you want to analyze the iron from the hematite ore, only iron is analyzed or estimated. Such type of the analysis is known as the partial analysis. So generally this type of the analysis is carried out for ores, minerals and pharmaceutical products. Pharmaceutical means that is drugs, that tablet, capsules or any pharmaceutical drugs or pharmaceutical product. Then third type of the analysis is a complete analysis. This is the analysis in which the proportion of each and every component in the sample is determined. So it is carried out on dry or wet basis. In dry basis method, the moisture is completely removed before the analysis. In wet basis method, the moisture is treated as the part of the sample and determined by separate procedure. So this complete analysis is related to the complete analysis of all the constituent. All the constituent present in the sample is, or component present in the sample is to be determined. So it is carried out on both bases, that is dry basis and the wet basis. But in dry basis, during the analysis, before analysis the moisture is removed. In case of the wet basis, the moisture is treated as a part of the sample and determined by the separate procedure. So proximate analysis is a process of analysis in which the percent assay of different element is first determined and then it's followed by analysis for each constituent in the sample. So in case of proximate analysis, firstly the percentage assay of each component is determined, and after that each component of the sample is to be analyzed. This type of the analysis is generally required in research, quality control, and another type, such type of the problem, that is what the generally required for the research and quality control problems. So this is about the complete analysis. Then trace analysis. Trace analysis is the referred to the analysis of trace constituent in which are less than 0.01% in the sample. So it is the applied to trace element in human body. What is trace analysis? Trace analysis is referred to the analysis of trace constituent, small amount of constituent, very less amount of constituent present in the given sample. What is the proportion? That is what 0.01% in the sample. Such type of less amount of constituent is also determined by means of the trace analysis. It is applied for where the trace analysis is used. It is applied to the trace elements in human body such as the iron, cobalt, nickel. Such type of element in the body is determined by means of trace analysis. Mercury in the coal, mercury present in the coal is also determined by means of trace analysis. Hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide in the air, trace element in glasses, coal and fly ash, contamination of radioactive elements in environment, contamination of copper, Fe and indolium in high purity gold, trace element in groundwater. The analysis is carried out with the help of very sensitive instruments like spectrophotometer, polarography, gas liquid chromatography, mass spectrometer. So it is what the very less amount, so we require the very sensitive instrumentation for the analysis, so it is known as the trace analysis. The next one is assay of ingredients. The determination of the content of a specific component, that is ingredient of a mixture with no evaluation of other component, is called as assay of that ingredient in the sample under consideration. What is assay of ingredient? Means what? Percentage purity of the given compound, or such what the determination of content of specific component or any component, that is suppose for example if the acetyl salicylic acid is there, then how much aspirin content in the acetyl salicylic, that is how much acetyl salicylic acid present in the aspirin tablet is determined by means of is assay of ingredient. So or it is also known as the percentage purity of a what given sample. So determination of a content of specific component of a mixture with no evaluation of other component is called as the assay of that ingredient in the sample under consideration. So determination of assay carried out in the ore analysis or various metals. So this assay of the ingredient is applicable to the analysis of ore as well as the what various metal. The assay determination is also carried out on pharmaceutical products to validate the amount of drug present in the given unit. So it is also, as I have already told, that the analysis of aspirin tablet, the amount of acetyl salicylic acid present in aspirin tablet is carried out by this method. So the this in the pharmaceutical analysis also this is validate the amount of drug present in the given unit by means of assay of ingredient. The assay of ingredient is expressed in terms of fraction or percentage. So what is the unit? It is fraction or percentage. So this is about the assay of ingredient, and thus final topic of this chapter, first chapter, is the analytical chemist and the analyst. So the analytical chemist and the analyst can be considered as someone experienced in the laboratory manipulation techniques, capable of following exactly the details of a rigidly defined series of methodic steps in the scheme of chemical or instrumental analysis, and able to operate the various instruments used in the modern techniques of the quantitative analysis. So who is the analyst? Analyst is the person who is experienced in laboratory manipulation techniques, using of the techniques, capable of following exactly the details of the rigidly defined series of methodic steps in scheme of the chemicals or instrumental analysis, and able to operate the various instruments in the modern techniques of the quantitative analysis. Such a experienced personnel is known as the analyst. The analytical chemist, on the other hand, has an extensive knowledge and understanding of the fundamental principle underlying the methods of chemical analysis. So, what is the difference between chemical analyst and analytical chemist? Analyst and analytical chemist. The main difference is the what? It is only analyst is the only experienced person who is able to manipulate the techniques, capable of following the steps, different series of steps in the chemical instrumental analysis, and able to operate the various instruments used in the modern techniques of the quantitative analysis. But no, what it is not required to it must be knowledgeable people. But the analytical chemist, on the other hand, has a extensive knowledge and understanding of the fundamental principle and underlying the methods of chemical analysis. He can apply these principles to the modification of existing method of analysis. So it is capable to develop new methods where required, devise new methods and develop the instrumentation to analytical purposes. He can, where circumstances dictate, devise and modify the instrumentation suited for the ends of the quantitative analysis. So it is simply what the scientist because he is capable of developing new methods, capable of adopting the new instrumentation for the developed method. He is fully aware of the limitations, so he is well known about the limitations of the given instrumentation or methods imposed by these principles, and is prepared to take such limitation into consideration. So evaluating the reliability of the analytical data provided by the methods under application. So simply what is the knowledgeable, experienced and what the research aptitude person is known as a analytical chemist. So this is about the chapter, that is what the scope and importance of analytical chemistry. This is the first paper of analytical chemistry, that is the general concept of analytical chemistry. So many what the aspects of this analytical chemistry, its importance, its role, types of analysis, classification of the analysis, then classification depending upon the size parameter, as well as the assay of ingredient, approximate analysis, complete analysis. So all these are the different types of analysis, and this is the end of this chapter. If you have any queries related to this chapter, please comment in the comment box and I will try to answer. So thank you, thanks a lot.